Yeah.
We're
now live, Steve.
Steve, you're live now. Steve, you're live.
I know. Oh,
It's just done all the intro. It's done all the intro, and then it's like, oh, we're not even live.
I know. I say greetings, everyone, and I've not even pressed the live button. Oh, you know what, guys? We start off as we mean to go on, I suppose, in this one. You know what I mean?
You and technology, Steve. We love it.
Yeah.
Mate, yeah. You know what? It is what it is, isn't it?
But at least
anyway, guys.
Yeah, at least they can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the hell's going on?
Well, you know what? I was just saying to Paul before we come on, I was like, you know what? I put my laptop on, pressed the button, and it had like 7%. I'm like, oh my God, not forgetting that I'd not charged it, when I used it during the week. So I was like, oh my God, I don't believe this. So I had to, thankfully, it's just like a 60-watt fast charge laptop. So it charged it to about 80%. So we've got 80%, 82%. So not too bad. You know what I mean?
On to a winner. And
yeah, we're on to a winner.
We can hear you.
Hey, no echoing as well, mate. We're all, hey.
Have you got
10 out of 10.
New headphones on, new microphone? What is it?
No. It's I've just been a little bit pre-planned today, Jake. You know how it is, don't you?
Wow.
So
yeah. Did you finish the round a bit earlier?
Yeah. Oh yeah, done that early time, mate. So it was a whole. Thankfully, I was home earlier. So otherwise, my laptop would, like I said, would have been on 8%. So it would have been a proper pain in the bum with it. That wouldn't have been happening. I don't think so. Anyway, guys, evening all. Thanks. Absolutely. Thanks for joining us on our usual Friday night live stream. Obviously, Ross is not with us again this week. So yeah, we're thinking of you, Ross. And yeah, he'll be back in the not too distant future, I think. Anyway, so I think he's definitely missing it. You know what I mean? He's missing it, but he's just dealing with a few things. So hopefully, Ross, you're doing well, mate, and we'll see you when you come and join us again. So, but yeah, what's been going on?
Hopefully he's watching tonight as well. Hopefully he's watching tonight. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Absolutely. Yeah. John Wright has not got much finger here. He's not got much pace finger with me here. Belief. We will be starting for 9 p.m. tonight. Hey, come on, John. It might be 8:30, but it will never be 9 o'clock. Come on, you know what I mean.
Evening, AB. Evening.
Evening, guys. Evening. Steve rocking the volume. Absolutely, mate.
You've impressed the stream with your working laptop straight away. To be fair, me and Paul are. We had a wager on it that you would. Your microphone wouldn't work, but fair play.
Hey, yeah, that's it. So, guys, what's been going on in your households this week? Paul, have you got the Pico set up? Jake, have you got any tips for later on? What's been going on, mate? Cool.
It's a bit early for a tip, Steve.
Yeah, give him 2 hours to think of one, and he'll still need one from the.
That's why I said. That's why I said, have you got any tips for later on? That's why I said that. So yeah, I thought you might have pre-planned one. You know what I mean, Jake? How's the Gonny Port or the what's it called?
The Pinky balls.
Pink balls.
Pinky balls.
It's been in the sun. It's brown now.
I'm not going to ask.
Been under the radiant, so it's had a bit more sunlight. No, am I joking? It's it's doing really well. Do you want to give you a little bit of a closer up here? Look. See, the Goniporas, you kind of got your two. Well, you've got lots of different species, but your two types, like the short stem ones, which kind of are encrusting, and then you've got the other ones are encrusting, but the larger polyps. I like the ones that are the longer polyps because
longer tentacles.
Yeah. There's a few different ones.
They're torch-like, aren't they? Then
Yeah, there's a few different ones, yeah. I mean, like in torches, say, for instance, you get an Australian torch, yeah? Like an Australian gold torch. They're more like stumpy, like stumpy. They're more like fatter, but shorter, if you know what I mean, yeah? Whereas, like, the Indonesian torches, they always seem to be, like, dead long and stringy and more flow, more flow to it.
Yeah.
I've noticed that a few times. I've looked at them and gone, are you sure they're a torch? And they're like, yeah, torches, blah, blah. Come from different parts of the world. So it's like, it'd be interesting to know why they're like that, because they're a genus, aren't they? So they're a torch genus. So I'm wondering why why one's shorter and fatter, and the other one's like long, like longer and thing, because they're all torches, aren't they? So
I must admit, I'm with you. I prefer the longer tentacle ones.
Yeah.
I just think they look better. They've got a bit more movement.
Yeah,
absolutely.
To them.
Yeah. Yeah,
they are. For like a torch junkie like me, I think they're like the next best thing, because you get the coloration like you do with a torch, but you also get that movement and the flow. So I think that's what's got me onto them. But and also they're a bit more affordable, aren't they, than a torch?
I was about to say you can get some decent ones for 35, 40,
you can.
50 quid. You haven't got to pay through the nose like you do for torch.
Yeah.
But then I saw a 2-head gold torch for, I think it was 130 quid the other day, and I do wonder whether they're going to start coming down. You've got a lot of them out there. Maybe that was just a one-off. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I do wonder with more people selling stuff. There's a lot of stock out there, whether the price will go down because people can't shift them. It'd be interesting to see what happens in the next 6 months.
Yeah. I mean, there is I believe, a lot of let's just move this out of the way. There we go.
They're on quite bright. It's quite brightish white.
Yeah.
The colour's not really popping at the moment, but the green stem and purple. And then there's a blue with yellow centre daisies. That rock there, I'm gonna have at least 4 or 5. This is my Gonny Garden project here. And that top little plinth there, that's gonna have to really
have another one.
I'm gonna find a really super special one. It's going up there.
Yeah,
and then I'll probably have one round the side, this side and that side, and then it'll be
like a bright red with kind of green stems. Would probably go quite nice and just pop against the other colours.
Yeah, for sure.
The daisy ones. In fact, none of them are like fixed down permanently, so I can still rearrange them if I need to. But that's I just love them catching the flow, but you can't have too much flow, otherwise they don't come out. So I've had to adjust my power head, so it's a slight different angle. So then they extend more.
Yeah.
Because if you hit them too hard, then they don't come out properly.
They just get battered, don't they?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm in love with them. I just need to get a couple more.
Looking good though, mate. That.
They're happy, aren't they? They're happy.
Yeah, they look a lot more. They look a lot more extended than they did the other week, anyway, mate. You know what I mean?
Well,
when you film,
you know what it's like. You know what it's like, Steve. Like the first few weeks, they're just settling in, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
And what's the green in front, Jay? What's the?
No, is that GSP?
A tiny little bit of GSP, a little tough.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Nice bit of movement on that.
Yeah.
I'd move it away from that rock.
Yeah,
spread on that rock, mate.
Well,
I tell you, it'll take over. Once
it
gets on it, it's game over.
Right, do you know what it is though? That's lined up for the Pico. I'm just getting it settled.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to put it in the Pico once it's settled.
Just bring it. I'll bring it forward a little bit.
Yeah, just move it forward,
so it's not touching the rock. That way it can't spread onto it unless there's a piece that detaches. Because, like Steve says, once that gets on the rock, that'll spread.
Once it gets on that rock, that's it, mate.
Here we go.
So you'd have to have your hand in here, wouldn't you, mate? But here we go.
Yeah, cook some wood.
Oh, mate.
Comes in handy. Look, there you go.
And I can just here we go. Look at this.
Oh yes. God, it's actually quite fixed on.
And it's
probably stuck.
You're gonna have to put your hand in.
Sure?
No, it's there.
No. Oh, way up. Yeah, keep it there, mate.
That's set it back 2 weeks now. Thanks for that.
Yeah, keep it in the wilderness. You don't want
have you got any stray bits on the rock, Jay?
No, there's no stray bits now. Wow, will it grab hold and then just?
Well, just spread.
Suffocate.
You know what? You know what though? If you look back on some of my videos, if you look back on my videos,
all right there.
Yeah. It can actually spread on sand. You know, it actually grows on sand.
Hey, do you see?
Mine spread all over it.
It's like a web.
Yeah, as a web.
Can you see my new edition?
Where?
What?
Oh,
your red shrimp.
Oh, your little.
My little red shrimp. I've got a new fire shrimp yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
So you got a pair now, yeah?
What's that?
You got a pair. You got 2 of them again now.
No, I had 2, didn't I, originally? And then,
for
whatever reason, they died at different times.
Oh, well, both died. I didn't realise the second one died.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, it did. I don't know why. And then, so I've got this one. It's absolutely massive. It's like a lobster. Huge. I swear to God, it looks like there's such a really great creature. I was going to talk about inverts tonight because they're always up to stuff like these. Look at these over here, knocking them out. conch, and then you've got the hermit.
Yeah.
You get such good value out of your inverts, don't you? Watching them.
Hey.
Yeah.
You still not moved that Monty.
No, mate. Take
last week. Yeah, you don't. Hey, don't start calling a Cobra meeting when it starts to bleach out on the bottom. All right. Because we're gonna go missing in action, mate. We're gonna go missing in action.
Well, I think so.
You know what I'm saying?
That top ledge there, Steve, that's for the gunny. I can't use that. So
I know. Yeah, you have to get another rock.
There you go. This will make people feel better. Look, I've got some algae. Look there. Look, you see it?
Move it
near the torches.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. A bit of algae action.
The snails will be onto that, mate. The snails will get onto that at some point. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it seems to go in little. It goes in little cycles, and I'm running. I've got the whites on at the moment, so you can see it a bit easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Paul's an advocate of like putting your whites on every so often just to see what you've got going on. But,
you can see it a bit easier, so you can see if you've got problems before. If you see the problem when it's under blue, you've got a big problem, I would say.
Yeah.
Ross had that problem, didn't he, with algae? He didn't realise until it was not too late. That's too dramatic, but until he had a big problem.
Yes,
with that Monty, you should bring it down and move it forward a little bit, so it's not on the place where you can put the gun. So it's like kind of almost like an overhang with it.
Yeah. I could do that.
Yeah.
Because then you can just putty underneath it, and if it falls off, just put a little bit of rock underneath it until the putty sets, and then take the rock away, and it'll be solid. And then you got overhang there as well.
That's a good idea, actually.
I'll
do that.
then you get a bit more room, and you're not taking up your rock space.
Because it's a nice, you know what? So I bought it. It's really nice. It's a Juggernaut Monty, and it's bright orange and purple. And I want to be able to see it, but then I've got no obvious rock where I can put it.
Yeah.
More ultimately, where it won't get stung as well, because I've got the torches.
Yeah.
And those the tentacles on the torches at the moment, when they come out, oh my God, you need like 5 or 6 inch away from each torch.
Yeah.
They're just feeling around. I think we spoke about it last week, how they kind of have this perimeter around your torch, because you know the feel for other conflict, don't they, around them and space.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. That's why I have it with my my Holy Grail with a bubble with a bubble coral. So I've got that huge bubble coral in the corner, and then I've got me like the Holy Grail torch, which is growing out to the right, But as it's growing out to the right, the tentacles are all touching this bubble coral. Now, there's only going to be one winner. There's only going to be one winner there, and that'll be the bubble coral. Trust me, the stings on them things are potent, mate. So it's an issue. It's an issue, and that's like you said. We spoke about it before, where you need to give them space, all coral space, whether it's euphyllias, SPS, anything. You need to give them a little bit of space because they do. And the sweeper tentacles on those Hollywood stunners, they are about 6 inches. They are. I don't know where they actually come from. You know what I mean? They're absolutely massive. Yeah, they're weird.
It's hard because when you first get your tank, you buy your corals, and if you gave them the right amount of space, people look at your tank and go, "What the hell is that?" Because obviously it'd just be like deserted. It'd be desolate, and then they have one odd coral here, there, and everywhere. So you bunch them together to make a scene, and then obviously 6 months, 12 months down the line, they're all fighting with each other. So it's just
that's a good thing about a torch, because one head of a torch, when it expands, it takes up quite a lot of room. Which is good when it's starting out, but as you're finding, as the tank fills up, it becomes a bit of a problem. But it's all right from the beginning.
Yeah.
Jake, there's one for you, mate.
I bought a new laptop, mate. So my laptop, it lasts 2 hours now. My laptop, my latest one. So we're all good.
There's one from you for Howard, Jake.
Oh, but I've just put right. It is such a good tank. Like, I don't think. Obviously, Howard's an experienced reefer. It's hard to get, I think, this tank wrong because the equipment is set up so it's easy to run. It's a brilliant. It's not an affordable starter tank because it's ridiculous expensive now, but it's a brilliant starter tank because it just runs. It just runs. So, what else did he say? He said he bought it. Then what did he say underneath it? I did ask him.
Those Red Sea lights got a good reputation, especially as you're probably not going to keep high-end SPS. So You got LPS and some of the hardy SPS. I think they'll do a great
job. When they come out, there was a lot of there was a lot of talk on them, weren't they, on those Red Sea negativity, weren't they, and all that. But now that they've been on people's tanks for best part of a year, 18 months now, since they've been out, the more and more you see of them, the more and more people are saying they're fantastic lights. Those Red Sea lights, the lights are fantastic. They're growing. They grow everything. They grow SPS, etc., etc. So you know what? They definitely work, mate. You know what I mean? So I can, it's not like it's a cheap light either, is it? It's a fairly expensive light, isn't it?
The only thing for me was when I got it comes with a tank, doesn't it? It's all as one.
Yeah, it's all one. Yeah.
I sold mine for about 200 quid. And then I only had to put 100 quid towards it to get the radian. So I was like, well, I'll just do that. And then because you can't move that reef led light, it's got the connections just for a nano. Whereas this, but it does say on the box, not for, like when you buy multi-pack, not for resale. Yeah. It does say you're not supposed to resell the light, but Red Sea has still not found me out.
UK Reef. UK Reef Bros put Red Sea lights are brilliant for coral, but make fish look dull as there's no reds in them.
Oh, really?
Right. I mean, like I said, I've never looked into them, to be fair. So, I wouldn't like to comment, but from like YouTube videos that I've seen with people having them on and stuff like that, I've only ever heard positive comments about them. You know what I mean? I've never heard any negative. So, you know what? Everybody can't be lying, can they? You have them. You know what I mean? And it tells the story when you see the corals growing. If corals are growing under the lights, then they're doing something right. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's the way I look at it, for sure.
Yeah, there's a guy near me about half hour away, and he had the Red Sea lights. He closed his tank down now, but he was growing strawberry shortcake, tabling acros, and they look really, really good. I mean, it's a good reefer, to be fair, but the corals look really good, and they've grown loads under the Red Sea lights. So they're really good lights. They ain't got the same reputation as Radian, but Radian's been around for years now. It's a well-established, long-established light, isn't it? Jay, how many litres is that tank? Because someone is asking around, that's the one, the new TMC Cube. So the new TMC Cube, if it's the one that's just come out, the smaller one is 60 litres. How much?
60 litres,
Yeah, what's yours?
This one's 75. But the new Peninsula's coming out. The Red Max Nano Peninsula.
Yeah.
I think is that 100 or 125? Which, to be fair, if I was starting out now, I would probably get that one because that's that bit of extra space to do you well, and it's all the same kit and the same filter system. So if I was starting now, I would aim for that. I don't know when it's coming out though. But I would aim for the Peninsula one.
I haven't seen that much about it. I mean, obviously we talked about it, I can't remember, last week or the week before. So that's the first I'd heard about it. But I haven't really seen any shops saying pre-order or anything like that, like they have for other tanks or lights.
I'll tell you what though, look, the TMC Cube, I really like it. I mean, I think Coral Reef Queens, they bought one. I think they bought one.
Yeah, they bought one, and I saw one at TMC as well. And I took some photos and some footage of it. It does look really good. So you get, obviously you get the tank, you get the light, you get a lid for it, you get a skimmer, you get a return pump. So you basically need to buy a heater for it, and then you need a power head. And I think that's about it. And I think that's 330 quid, which I think is a really good price point for out with a tank.
Exactly. You know what they've done? They've done, I think, a good marketing strategy there, because they've put it in between, like, say, a cheaper tank, as in, like, say, like the Fluval Evo, and then they've put it in between, like, the Red Sea Max Nano, so which is like, what, 600, 700. So they've hit that middle spot where for people to delve the foot into the reefing hobby sort of thing, because like we've said before, it's not a cheap hobby, is it? Let's be honest, boys. You know what I mean? It's like it's a fairly expensive hobby to be in, and some people don't want to go out and spend thousands of pounds on a tank with coral, and then the next minute, you know, it not work out for them. Do you know what I mean? So I think 300 quid is a reasonable amount to
it is
not lose, but like, you know, you could justify.
You don't know if you're going to like it, do you? Like you say, you don't know if you're going to enjoy it at first. I started out,
absolutely.
I might like. How many hobbies do you start? You think I'm going to like this, and then you stop.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I think this one has that added addiction to it for some reason. There's something about the challenge and the fact that you never quite. I don't think you ever quite master everything, as it were. You get everything working. It always keeps you interested, doesn't it?
Texas Reach just put there. Red Sea just put a vid out.
I'll
have a look at that because I'm interested to have a look at that. I think that'd be a really good seller. 100 litres. It's not a bad size, is it? It's
a nice size.
Is 100 litres classed as a nano? I don't know, but it's kind of tipping that you got a half decent water volume, haven't you?
Yeah,
and you've got what kind of length is it? I imagine it's as wide as the one you've got, Jay.
Yeah.
For 25 litres, it's got to come out.
The 5-inch out, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
I think mine might be 55 or something.
Yeah,
so it's about 60 odd. Yeah, it's about another 5-inch longer, which should give you more. You know, if you could have the same sort of size scape as mine, but then you'd have more sand, which I think would look nice because mine's all up to the edge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We talked about this, didn't we? Like just that desolate sand look. And then you don't have any corals on your sand. It looks nice. Doesn't it?
I think in a tank that size, you're going to struggle to not have either not put rock along the middle to the front like a peninsula should look, I suppose, or you're going to load it up because you're going to find, to your point, anything over about a year, you're going to be struggling if the tank's healthy to keep any to have any space whatsoever. I think because you've gone for less corals and more expense, haven't you, Jay, rather than throwing loads of corals in at one time, other than your zoas.
I just, like you've got a wish list for your collection. So I've just tried to tick off my wish list. And to be fair, Kate said to me, she was like, what else? What other corals are you after? You know, what's on the wish list, as it were? And I've pretty much got most of them now, I think. I say I'm just collecting some gonnies. I'd love a really nice Gorgonian, which I know aren't, they're quite cheap, but I'd love just to get that huge, like a big one.
Flow.
Or one of them, them sea fans. You don't ever see them, but the proper sea fan. Oh my God, that'd look amazing. Find something like that. But
let me just, where was that? Where was that thing? John, John was put there, yeah. After watching hundreds of hours of YouTube, many experts say flow is more important than water quality and lighting. I disagree. I totally disagree on that. And in my opinion, water quality, I've always said it. If your water is the most important. We keep water. And we don't keep corals. We don't keep fish. We keep the water. And if your water is stable and it's got the right, it's got everything right in it, then everything will thrive in it. You know what I mean? Your lighting is what grows the coral. So I think your lighting is like pretty important, you know what I mean? Because in a zoo and felly and stuff like that. So I think that's a must, isn't it? You know what I mean? If you want good quality with your, with your corals and stuff like that. So, and then flow. I mean, I would have thought flow would have come third out of those three there. Me personally, but
you've got
flow, I don't know. You're just getting oxygen out.
Distributing food. You've got flow to stop coral disease because obviously the movement stops parasite build-up. You've got flow for aeration, which then buffers
aeration.
pH.
That's the most important part about flow is the aeration on the surface breaking the
water.
pH,
isn't it? So it's up there. It's definitely up there.
It's up, absolutely. But I wouldn't have thought it would be the top one.
I think there's a balance across all three. And it depends what you're keeping as well. So, for example, with chalice, you keep them on the floor, and actually the flow doesn't really matter too much unless you batter them too much. Whereas if your water quality is not good, certainly in the early days of your tank, you will struggle to keep SBS. Now, whether that's because of bacteria in the water, that's more around the rock and everything else. But I find early days it's harder to keep SBS, regardless of what the light and the flow is. That's around the quality of your tank and the nutrients and stuff like that. So I think it's a balance of all three. If you're lacking in one of those three, you could well struggle, but it depends on the corals.
But if we had to pick,
if you had to pick it in order, would you go first? I would, no doubt about it.
What do people think in the chat? What would you pick first?
Yeah. What would you pick? What would you pick, guys? Would you pick?
I don't think you just have one. You can put me in order. I'd go for I think water quality, flow and light. I say that because I think most lights you get will do the trick for your tank. And I don't keep top SPS, so it doesn't bother. I could get not any light.
Yeah, but
most lights I can put over there and they'll do it.
Yeah. Absolutely, but you just hit the nail on the head there. But you don't keep SPS. But if you did keep SPS, not every light would be sufficient enough. You'd need a decent light to grow.
That's true. If you need SPS, they need enough flow. Because if they don't get enough flow, they end up browning up and going and
you know
dying.
what?
And then you need the water quality as well. So there's a balance, and depending on what you keep, like water quality on softies. You can easily keep the nutrients way high and your quality's pretty crap and they'll be as good as gold. And your light could be pretty poor and you need some flow just to keep the detritus off them. So it's a difficult one.
So on that bombshell, don't worry too much about your lighting, eh? Good lights are overrated.
I'll go out and buy some cheap ones then.
You got the receipt.
Some Chinese. I don't know, like something from China or something. I don't know.
Put your little TMC over the top of it, mate. That'll be all right.
I'll put that light over and see if it'll do me PC Rainbow any good. What do you reckon, Jay? Might do. You never know.
I reckon it'll do it.
But
that was a great question, by the way, John. That was a good question.
It is a great question. Like I said, I'm trying to search. Anybody? Let us know what you guys think.
The next one down is a good one around salinity, which is going to be water quality, and that is really basic but really important.
Which one's that one?
The one below that.
Oh, there, yeah. Sorry. Salinity. Yeah, salinity is most.
We take it for granted, don't we? That it's going to be on the money, and probably a lot of people check.
I was just about to say that. How many people, when they're doing testing of the water, test for the salinity? Because I'll tell you what,
once a month to once every 6 weeks, if I remember. But sometimes it can go to a couple of months. In theory, it should be okay, shouldn't it? But you never know; it could drift.
No, exactly. Like you said, I'm one of the worst ones for it. I've got everything. I test everything: calcium, alkalinity, magnesium, stuff like that. And then the one thing that, like you said, is pretty up there at the top is a salinity. Salinity drops in your tank. You do start to see issues, especially with SPS. Like I've had mine where it's dropped to 1.023, and the SPS didn't even open because I was like, "What the hell's going on here?" You know, like these. There was like, the polyps didn't open. They were a bit peed off with it, and then I was like checking everything. Everything come back fine. Check the salinity with a Hannah checker, and it was bang on 1.023. I couldn't believe it. So. You know what? Just by a couple. Yeah, but by 0.23, not 0.3, 0.23. It was just dropped because I run mine 2.25, 2.6. It doesn't that area. It's give or take. But 2.3. The SPS didn't like it. As for the rest of it, everything else did. Euphyllias, they wasn't really that bothered. All the softies and stuff like that. They didn't mind.
Like torches, they're in like brackish water, aren't they? To be fair, so they could,
they didn't mind.
They can take a drop, can't they? A little bit, I suppose. In theory, but
John writes, I'd pick water quality, then flow, and then light. So the same as you, Paul. UK reef, light, flow, water. Wow, light, flow, water.
That's the opposite.
Yeah, that's total opposite.
I like that though. There's a good debate there. What can you obviously just let us know why you think light first? That'd be interesting.
AB, he tests salinity every week during routine changes. Stay in that routine, and you won't go wrong. Haley's put, can a torch coral have too much flow? I've moved mine and it looks droopy. Well, Jay, come to you on that one. What do you think?
I would say I've had to move mine before. Either that they've had not enough flow or too much. I
think if they have too much flow, they don't extend as much.
Yeah.
And then if they don't have enough flow, then they do go drooping. They just kind of hang down, don't they? If you turn your flow off, for example, they'll just go bleh.
They just.
I think there's that balance you want them moving. I mean, Signature Frags, he has the flow really high, don't he? But it says that higher flow helps to pop more heads, doesn't it? I'm sure that's what he said.
Yeah. So he used to have them in the SPS tanks. And the flow in there is absolutely insane. You know, it's just like you can just see the water bubbling over.
But he does them from both sides, though, so they kind of go in a circular motion, don't they? And they don't get bashed on one side or the other.
Yeah.
When you see videos of them, they kind of rotate more when there's a flow all the way around. Yeah.
Yeah, it's rhythmic. But he with his gyres, which I can't do because I haven't got a big enough tank for gyres, but he gets a standing wave, so you can actually see the wave going along the tank.
Yeah, along the top.
It bounces back.
I love that.
I love that effect. But
it's like the pulse effect. I think it's on the pulse. I think, and what it does is it blasts it. So I have it pointed. You know, the Red Sea ones are 40s. The Red Sea 40. I have it on a pulse, so it pulses across the top of the waves. So it makes like a wave format. You know, on the top of it, like ripples. And it does look really, really good. And like you said, but it's getting like loads of flow along the top where the SPS are. Do you know what I mean? And SPS with flow as well, especially, is it dictates on how they grow. So depending on like where like which direction you're having your flow and all that, it helps or it can help or it doesn't help yet the way the actual SPS grow. Because all mine, if you look at mine, they all seem to be growing more to the right hand side. So they're growing more to the right. You know what I mean? And I think that's just because they're getting blasted more from the left hand side. You know what I mean? To me, so I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's definitely a strange one for sure, but definitely the flow, good flow.
And when you're talking about that wave movement, you can do those on the vortex as well. Especially if you got one, they're opposite one another, and the way they pulse just sends a wave from left to right, and it's looks really good.
It does look really good. I'd just move it if it's easy to move and just try it in a different spot, and it'll probably perk up. But I've had to move mine a couple of times.
Yeah, Argue Warriors put these testers. Salinity is one of the only things I test twice weekly. Well, he's up there with the top. I very rarely test my Salinity. I'm stupid. I should test it for sure. And I won't mind. It's not like it's hard. I've only got to dip the pen in it, Anna. You know what I mean? It's not a hard thing to do, is it? 2 minutes to do, but it's something you take for granted. Do you? I don't do water changes.
Yeah. So you don't do water changes. That's probably why. Then.
Yeah. I forget, mate. So, Rich Mattis put he wiped his tank out with salinity. Exactly.
Issue. Wow.
Absolutely. So, what exactly happened there, Rich? Did it drop or did it go up? What happened to wipe your tank out with it? I'm assuming it's probably a drop in it in salinity, maybe.
Yeah, because a big thing with salinity, the auto top off goes.
With the ROs,
loads in. Dumps, it's not just how low it goes; it's how quick it goes as well.
How quick?
If it's gradually going down, it can go quite low, and it's still okay. But if you get a big swing on that, then that's where I think it upsets everything.
Yeah, for sure. Kim's put constantly checking ours on the GHL. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I got on the Apex.
I do like those. Like those GHLs. Yeah. That's the one thing I haven't got on my Apex. Well, apart from a few things, is a salinity thing. For it. I've never seen it. Well, I don't know. I heard a lot of things.
Mine came with it. So it was. And I got a time where, it came with the tank to be fair, but you had the different probes, the heat, the pH, the ALP, and the salinity. So I take it for granted on that tank because I get an alert if it was to go over a certain level.
So will you transfer that, Paul, to your other tank when you put it down?
Yeah, I probably will put it in the other tank. The pH probe I'll bin because it's going to be too old. But the temperature probe seems okay. And the salinity seems okay. So I'll probably just keep those two. But the others, I mean, the probes on there, I've replaced the pH one once. But I haven't replaced any of the other probes, and they're over 7 years old. And the temperature could be out, but it's stable. And the salinity looks pretty stable. And I still check it from time to time with manually, and it seems to be okay. So that tells me that's okay still. I probably should change it. But then you'll hate this, Steve. That is the original heater I've got as well.
Oh yeah. He changes his every year. You have a new heater every year, don't you, Steve?
Yeah.
I do, mate. Yeah.
That's the same. That's the same.
You know what? I think I've got 5 heaters in the cubbyhole thing here, yeah. But which are all working. They all work, yeah. But they're just like I've just stored them because, like I said before, guys, it's just what a heater is paramount. You know what I mean? And if it trips on and it's game over, there's nothing coming back from that. Do you know what I mean? So
I get a water on the apex.
I've got, and that's the one thing that I've got. I've got 2 heaters in my tank. Yeah. Now I've got the one that's on the apex, which is linked up to the apex, which switches on if the temperature drops below a certain degrees. So I forgot exactly what it is. I'll have to bring it up on the apex, but I think it's about 74 degrees.
Okay, so you've got a backup. So if it goes below like 24 degrees, then that one kicks in to keep it at that. So it'll still be about a degree below. So you've got belt and braces. Well, I'm on a wing and a prayer with a 7-year-old.
Exactly. Now, the only issue we have there is if the apex one doesn't work, the other heater doesn't work, you know, when I switch on. Because like I said, it's never come on because the titanium one that I have, that's linked to the temperature controller, you know, the what's it called? What's it called now, Jay? The one that we've got. The D&D temperature control. So that's linked to that. Do you know what I mean? So I've got it linked to that, the titanium one. Yeah. So it's like you said, it's just a fail safe. If for instance that broke, then the other one will come.
No, I mean, it makes sense. And I know I should do something different, but I'm pretty.
You should change it after 7 years.
I will when the tank closes down. I'll either bin it or I'll just keep it in reserve. Steve, they're good value though. It's like £3 a year. Can't argue with that.
That is awesome. Steve, if you have,
and I thought Jay was tight, flipping it.
No, it's not about being tight. I just don't think of it.
I tell you what, if you have heater problems, we're all doomed in this chat because none of us have got. None of us have got a backup and 3 other backups. So, you know,
I've got loads of heaters down the shed, but that's about it.
He's still worried about it as well. He's like, well,
hey, listen, you know what? I reckon the biggest cause of tank crashes is probably the heater. You know, I'm going to check that out. I bet it is, mate. I wouldn't be surprised.
I bet it's
dynos. No, I bet it'll be the heat failure.
It's not a tank crash. Probably people giving up is. Things like dinos and algae and stuff like that, and they just lose interest. But in terms of crashes,
leaks could be
potentially.
Well, leaks, I suppose. Rich put, it's a balancing act. Without any of the 3 main things, water, flow, light, then something won't grow or die or cause out. Absolutely, mate. 100%. There's also algae's put. It's critical you keep your equipment calibrated too. Yes. That's I always calibrate my stuff. That is the one thing that I do. You know what I mean? And make sure that your calibration equipment is in stock, date, because some of them, like I had them on the on the Apex, Paul. The calibration fluid, and it was because you get it. Is it 4 and 7, or is it? Yeah, 4 and 7.
For pH, you can get 4, 7
for the pH. Sorry, that's it. 4.
I can't remember. I think it's
7 and I put it in the 4, and for the love of money, it wasn't even reading 4. It was like reading 2 all the time. Every time I tested it, and I put it. Basically, you float them in the water, tank water, to get them up to temperature 25 degrees, and then you're supposed to put it in. I put it in, and it was coming up back at like 2.8 and all. I was like, what the hell? And then I looked at it, and it was like 3 months out of date or something, 3-4 months out of date on the back. So a calibration fluid definitely goes off 100%. You know what I mean? So I had to go and get some from Kraken Corals. So I bought a fair few of them. But I do tend to calibrate mine, especially like with probes every maybe 3 months, 2 to 3 months, just to be on the safe side, I suppose.
You do. You need to be on the safe side with your probes.
Absolutely, mate. For sure. Yeah, with your probes. Yeah, keep that. Let's see, any more?
Gyres. Everybody's loving the gyres. I wish I had a tank big enough for a gyre, to be fair. One day.
Yeah, I think I must admit, I will probably try and one day. I've been so used to having the Vortex, and they're so easy to use and maintain. I haven't changed. And I like Tunzi as well. I've got some Tunzi pumps on the other tank. They're pretty good as well because they're small ones. They go in the corner and they're quite discreet. And in a smaller tank, you then get flow from different angles. So I like Tunzi.
Scott's put, hello boys, hope all's well. Yeah, we're all right. Scott, hope you're well, mate. He said he's got a Royal Gourami and 2 frags today. Also, he's been spending. Nice. What frags did you get? What frags were there, Scott?
I reckon he's got. So I need to have one more fish, and I want it to be a colourful fish. And I'm thinking a Royal Grammar. So I'll be interested how he gets on. They say you're supposed to add it last, aren't you? Apparently.
Yeah.
Because they can be a little bit feisty.
They can get quite big as well. I've got a Royal Grammar in there. I've had it for ages. I like a nice bit of rock work to sit in. How big is the Royal Grammar? Oh, he's hiding at the moment.
How many inch?
About 3.
3 inch. I probably can't have mine then.
Yeah.
Well, it's like your bloody chromis, that is.
It is. I mean, it's still growing. I think 2.5, 3 inches.
Hey, that's been on steroids. That's been worse than my chromis for sure. That 3 inches.
3 inch grammar.
I mean, it's maybe 2.5. Maybe 2.5. But I mean, it's 7 years old. It's fully grown.
Yeah. 7 years old. Wow, that's
most of the fish in here are between 4 and 7 years old. I haven't added a fish in here for 3 years.
Wow. Yeah.
So how long do they live? If you 10 years?
I don't know.
How does a saltwater fish live? Or like, obviously they're different species, but
clowns can go for about 25 years. The first clown I got, I still got, which is 9 years old. Well, 9 years old this year.
Wow, 25 years.
There we go. Rich has put his tank went to 42 ppt. All his inverts died and all his coral. Even his GSP never recovered. Well, if your GSP doesn't survive, flipping it, they'd survive a nuclear attack. That thing usually, you know what I mean? Was in a fluval Evo, so it was a small tank, so he upgraded. Wow,
so was it
44
equipment? Was it equipment?
Yeah, 42 parts per thousand. Wow.
Yeah, what caused it? Equipment failure? It must be. I don't know.
Yeah.
So top off not working. I don't know.
Yeah, it's possible. Mini, good evening. Mini 25 Reef. Let's see. His refractometer went rogue. Calibrate before. Oh, that's why. Yeah, those refractometers got to calibrate. You can get a calibration fluid for them, don't you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I used to do when I used to use a refractometer? You know what I used to do was I used to use just the RO, the RO water, and I used to drop two drops of the RO water on top, and then zero it. Yeah, that way
that's what I do. I put RO on it 2 or 3 times, wash it off, which is probably over the top, then put it to 0, and then I test it twice just in case the salt water goes on and it's diluted, even though it hasn't, because it's dried off. And then once I've done it with salt, I then use RO water again for the next time. But even though I use it the next time, I still use RO water. So it's belt and braces, it's over the top, but at least I know then I'm calibrating it each time. And touch wood,
each time
it's been fine.
Yeah. I mean, refractometers are like, they've been around for years and years, aren't they? They were the old school, the way they used to use them and stuff like that, for sure. So, it definitely worked. But like I said, when I used to use them, I never used the calibration. I used to just use RO water, and it seemed to do the trick. It was always bang on, like you said.
Absolutely.
Aquarians put, Paul keeps his heaters longer than my mate keeps his wives.
That's a good one.
Aquarium cabinet solutions are in. Evening, my friend.
Oh, evening.
How's it going, Nick?
Yeah, really good.
You all right, my mate?
Yeah, did you go to Interzoo?
What's that?
Did he go to Interzoo?
Oh,
so there's a trade reef show in Europe, and I saw that there were some pictures on Facebook or Instagram for the Cade. So I didn't know if he was over there. I mean, some of the setups up and some of the kit that was shown off looks absolutely brilliant. It looks like a really good show, but it's a trade-only show.
Isn't it Europe's largest livestock show? Or whatever it is, isn't it?
I think it is.
Reefing, but it's got all kinds of things there as well. It's not just, I suppose, marine or fresh water. It's all. I don't know how far it goes to other industries.
Yeah,
but it's a lot. It's really big.
It's pets.
What's the secret to not doing water changes?
Look, sheer luck, probably. That's probably what it is. No,
spending a shed load on dosing by looks though.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there is a secret to it. Yeah, I mean, I just stopped doing it because I was lazy, to be fair. Yeah, and then what I did was I got my water to where I wanted it to be. Yeah. Now, whether it's right or wrong, it's each person's, it's what each person thinks. Some people might think that, it's wrong, you should do water changes. Some people might say fair play. I always live with a mindset that if something's not broke, then it doesn't need changing. So my water, I kept on testing. I know the water was always the same. So then when I switched to using Aquaforest, I was reading somewhere, I don't know which one it was, but then I thought, you know what, I'm not even going to bother, because I was dosing all the elements. I was putting all the elements in with the components. And then I was also dosing calcium, magnesium, and alkalinity as well. So I thought, well, all I'm doing is just taking water out to put cleaner water in. But I might be replacing some of the elements, but they're being replaced by the dosing part side of it, if you know what I mean. So I thought, well, I'll just stop dosing. I'll just stop doing water changes. And then I stopped. And I've never looked back. And like I said, I'm 3 years now into it, I think, with no water changes. And the tank is crystal clear.
Is the cost higher dosing all the stuff that you dose rather than just doing water changes? No. It probably is. No.
Nowhere near it. No.
Because
remember, because I'm using Aquaforest now, it's getting more expensive in a sense, but I mix my own stuff anyway. I mix my own powder anyway. But the situation I'm having is it's only lasting me 16 days, I think, 15 days, the 5 litre tubs, because I'm dosing like near enough 300 mil a day of each component. You know what I mean? So it's coming to the point now where, like I've spoken previous live streams, that are, maybe towards the end of the year or New Year, definitely is maybe looking at getting a calcium reactor and try to set one of them up. But like you said, it's a lot. To be truthful, I'm a little bit scared about setting one of them up. I know how they run and I know the principles and I know how to set them up. Yeah. But it's the dialing in part. And you've seen it. I have, got nice corals and they're all doing well. And I think to myself, if I just make that one mistake with a calcium reactor and I overdose it, you know what I mean, then it's game over. You're not coming back from it. So that's the one thing that I'm a bit scared with it.
You've got the KH keeper on the alkalinity, and you can dial one back. So the Aquaforest you can take down, and obviously the calcium reactor you can take up and just do it slowly, even if you do it over like a month or 6 weeks to dial it in. And you've got that, and you've got alerts on that. So you've got as good a chance as ever.
I have, but the only issue I've got, though, is my shifts with my work. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not like a 9 till 5 job. So if for instance, there is an issue, say on a 9 till 5 job, I can be there, can't I? Whereas my job, I'm either on earlys, middles, late, splits. So I'm not in. So if there is an issue, my missus would not have a clue.
But what you could do. So but what you could do, that's the problem. Steve, you've got to on it. If it goes above that, you put the calcium reactor onto a Wi-Fi plug. Just turn the Wi-Fi plug so you switch it off.
Yeah.
If it goes up a little bit, then it's not going to do much harm. And that'll be okay until you get home. So if you keep the measure, if it's pretty stable and you take, so if it goes up by, more than one in one day or half or whatever, then it's dosing too much.
Yeah.
By the time you get home, it'll be okay. Because if it goes up by, say, 1, that ain't going to do any harm to your...
No. I'm wondering if you can program them on an Apex.
Yeah, you can.
You know, so
on Fusion, what you could do on Fusion is then you could go into Fusion and you can switch something off. So on Fusion, you've got off, auto, and on.
That's right.
You've got a protector and you slide it to the left, don't you? And then you get the little bar and you could switch it off, and then that'll turn the power off.
Yeah.
So
but I'm wondering if you can set a program for it. So if you set say if
alkalinity
goes above blah blah blah, or pH goes above X, Y, Z.
It'd have to be reading.
You know what I mean?
The alkalinity, and I don't know if the Apex can read the alkalinity from
that's KH
keeper, so it couldn't. So
that's what I mean.
So you'd have to have an alert, and then you'd have to manually switch it off. It's not like your heater, because it knows the temperature for the probe. And then it switches it on, off, doesn't it? On that.
Yeah.
Just going back to the last one around the secret. If you're taking enough nutrients out from the filtration you've got, and you're putting all the elements in through, cal dosing, whatever it is, then there's an argument that says you don't need to do a water change because you're stripping out the crap stuff, putting in the replacement of the good stuff, and then you've got a balance on it.
As long as you put trace elements back as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So I did that for quite a while with the no-pox, taking the nitrates and phosphates out. I was dosing the foundation. Also, I was doing the colour, so the iodine and all of that. And probably the tank at that time looked the best it did without water changes. But I was putting all the stuff in. It was totally dialed in. And I was on it all the time. And that's when the tank looked its best. And Jay, coming back to the Royal Grammar. So on, was it Live Aquaria?
Yeah.
Royal Grammar, its maximum length is 3 inches.
All right. So
that's what it says there. And also says 30 gallons, but I can never remember how much 30 gallons is.
Oh, so my tank's too small in theory then, because mine's 20 gallons.
So what's that?
30 must be near 100.
That's more than that. Mine's 100 gallons and it's 450 litres. Yeah. So that would be 40, 80, 120. It's about 135, about 130.
Yeah, I met up with Aquarian at Maidenhead Aquatics in Finland, and he honestly such a wonderful guy, such a nice guy, and he was chatting to me about his coral beauty, and someone just put in the chat, get one, and his ate his corals, and if I had a fish that ate the corals, I'd just you'd panic, wouldn't you? You'd start panicking if he starts getting a taste for you.
I wouldn't tell the risk because sod's law I'd get one that's just gonna take a fancy to all the expensive stuff.
Yeah. Good to see you, Ian. We'll have a catch up soon, hopefully, mate.
Yeah. Right, come on, guys. Click the like. There's only 21 likes and there's 53 of you in the stream, so come on.
Well, that should. I mean, we've not had any technical issues, so definitely should have a like for that.
Should definitely have a like for that. Should have 54 likes for that. Should have 54 likes for that. Come on.
Right. Yeah, so I'll tell you what we can do to get the likes up. So, do you remember last week that people set me a challenge, didn't they?
Oh yeah.
No, I wasn't going to mention it. I must admit.
You know, are you too Paul? You're my mentor through this.
No, you just don't know what's going to happen. If you got your overalls and your PPE.
No. So, I met up with Ian at Maidenhead Aquatics. He's lent me loads of gear, so I don't have to buy it. Because you know what I'm like, a bit tight as a Yorkshireman.
Are you going to explain what you're doing? This looks a bit ridiculous that you're getting things out of the bag.
All right, okay. So, on last week's live stream, and I've never fragged anything in my life, people said, why don't you frag something live? So I thought, been an idiot. I thought, well, why not? Let's have a go. What could go wrong? I always say that frame, what could go wrong? And then usually everything goes wrong. But anyway, that's how you learn, isn't it? I suppose. So I started to get a few bits. I got some reef glue and things like that. And then Aquarian said, I'll save you some money. I've got some gloves, some goggles. And here look, Paul. Do you recognise this?
I do. You bought one. You bought one.
No, I haven't bought one. This is yours. It's going around the country.
Oh, is it?
This is your exact kit. And by the looks of it, I don't think you did any coral fragging either, because it's brand new.
It was. Is that the one I gave away?
Kevin Yeasy's had this. It's brand new. Look.
Yeah, because I got it from them to give away. I never used it. I've got one that's years old.
Oh, right.
Oh, that was what I gave away when I did the live fragging of the chalice, wasn't it?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. I'll get it now. So yeah, I never used it. I'm not going to use something and then give it away, Jay.
Well,
Jay might.
I didn't realise that was a rule. I always give my cast-offs. So I've got all these tools, and I don't really know what they all do. But anyway, we'll go with it. So I've got that.
You want to use the one that's a scalpel.
Right, so you're going to talk me through this a little bit, aren't you?
Oh my good God! Right.
Okay. Well, you are my mentor, so if it goes wrong,
this is planned. So have you got the scalpel?
Yeah, that's the one. Wait up. Yeah,
it's the one that looks like a scalpel.
Ian's put a new blade on it. And he said, "Be careful."
Yeah,
very sharp.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Yeah,
that one. Yeah.
It's like you're going into surgery here. What's going on?
Cold surgery.
You might want to roll your sleeves up, otherwise you're going to get your sleeve wet.
So I'll tell you what I've got, and then you can tell me if I'm doing it right, okay? Because I haven't actually done this ever before. I'd like to have made a YouTube video doing this rather than doing it on here, but, you know.
So have you got gloves, and have you got glasses?
Yeah. Right, I'll show you what I've got. You're getting too excited now. Wait up. Let me get the stuff.
I honestly didn't think you was going to go ahead with it.
People ask me to do things, I like to. That's my RO water.
Usually, you like to avoid it.
No, I don't. Hosting. I don't like hosting. I've got some nice salt water here, so that's what it can go into. What else have I got here for you? I've got me. I had to buy some new reef glue.
Yeah.
So the idea is that I'm going to take some out of here.
Have you got frag plugs? Or,
no, I'm going to put it on the Pico rock.
Right. Okay.
Well, that's good. So you're going to cut it off, and then you're going to glue it, and then put it on the for your first time
on the rock. Yeah. Wow. So that.
Mate,
you're going to take the rock out.
It's not going to happen.
I'm going to take that rock out. I can't take that one out.
Right.
No, you're going to take the Pico rock
that's
out.
What I mean.
Fine.
I thought you were going to have like tweezers and try and stick it on it.
I wouldn't try and stick a Zoa onto a rock.
No, I'm going to get that rock out of there and stick it on.
See.
Right, okay.
Got you.
Stick a couple on.
Yeah.
Right. You're with me, aren't you, boys? You're with me.
So how many are you actually gonna try to stick on it? Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a vote here on how many actually stick. So this is what. So because
that's good fun. Use that.
No, just as a bit of fun. So we're gonna ask the people in the audience to say how many of Jay's frags are gonna stick on the rock when he puts it back into the Pico.
All of them.
Well, I hope they are, mate.
We'll see. Right.
Yeah.
But what you want to do really is
to be honest, I'm dreading this now because I thought you boys would be all behind me and confident.
We are.
And now you're going, well, I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah. I'm behind you at the other end of the country.
Right. I need you boys to mentor me for this. If this goes wrong, it's not my fault. It's yours.
Okay. So you probably want to remove the fan, as you'll end up knocking the fan into the wall.
Yeah. Well, that's full fan. Yeah. So I best get the fan off.
Yeah, I would turn your flow off.
Yeah. Right, wait up then. I need to roll my sleeve up as well. I've picked out an area that I'm aiming for. I think with a bit of surgery. The thing is with mine. So this is the problem. If I was able to get a piece of rock out, it'd be so much easier just to do this. But because I've got to try and do it a little bit in the tank, that's what I'm worried about. I've put a bit more carbon in yesterday because I did a water change yesterday. In anticipation that I'm going to have to do a little bit of.
So there's a tip. You need your hairnet because that's part of your PPE, Joe.
My helmet.
Hairnet.
Hairnet. UK
Did he not put a hairnet in that bag with those gloves?
To be fair,
you're a terrible hairnet.
To be fair, he's given me everything apart from the reef glue and the reef dip, everything else.
And the Zoas.
How dare he?
He should have given you the Zoas as well.
To be fair, he'll want some of these Zoas, I think. Now, the fish think they're getting fed here, don't they? That's the problem. So I've got some PPE on. Here's my PPE.
PPE.
Gloves. Right, I've got to remember which one's the salt water's blue. Remember that, right? Okay.
Okay, blue.
Dan's Reese put a piece of pinky balls for everyone.
Good idea.
I'd love to give some away, but it's only just settled in, so there's no chance.
Yeah.
So there's no
next time I'm fragging, you can have a piece for £200.
So there's some great comments here. We're going to witness a massacre or birth or new life.
Well, it's either the start of the Pico or the end of my main tank book.
Right. So, so Jay, what you're trying to do is get the scalpel and go underneath the Zoa.
Yeah.
And try underneath it. And then
I'll try and show you where I'm aiming for.
Tease it off the rock.
Just like
And then once you get a little bit, then you can cut around it. And then you may end up just having to pull it, and you'll pull quite a few off in one go.
Right. So I'm trying to get some rasters because they're the ones that are growing they're out of control, really. So I'm going for this bottom corner, I think, where there's two bits where it looks like it's overhanging slightly. So you see down there, there's like a couple of there's like a stem.
Yeah. I see.
Just below
Have you got ones on top, Jay, or are they just on the side there?
They're this area here, I think, is probably the best shot.
So where you got seduction there.
Yeah,
go below the seduction because you've got a bit of bare rock. And try and get underneath those ones that are in the middle.
Those. You see that?
Scalpel there and try and go to the base and try and cut underneath the base.
In fact, let me get the whatever it is, the zoom lens, so you might be able to see a bit better than.
No, that's fine. I can see it, Joe.
Can you?
Yeah.
So I'm aiming for this area here, I think. Yeah. Should I take that frag plug because it's only got putty on that sensation? Should I take that one off to get to it? Or?
No. Well, you just see if you can get to it first.
If you can
see if you can get to it.
Yeah. If not, you take that off and then you get to it. You'll have a bit more room to play with.
Oh, for God's sake, I'm a bit nervous actually now. To be fair. Right. Oh, jeez. Right.
Yeah. Put your right arm in, not your left, Jay.
It's not the hokey cokey, Jesus.
No, but your arm will get wet.
Put me right arm in.
Oh, mate.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be easy to move the frag plug.
Okay. We can't see from anyway, so you could do anything.
Well, I know that. I've got to be able to grab them as well, haven't I?
Yeah.
Take the comment off, Steve, see if we can.
Sorry, mate.
No, that's all right. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't want to see me doing this, really.
So you've taken the frag plug off, have you?
Not yet, no.
You've not?
Not yet, no. I'm just trying to get underneath it.
Yeah.
They're pretty hardy, so you can rip them to bits and they'll be fine.
Yeah. They're fairly hardy, yeah, for sure. For sure.
Can you just talk about something else for a bit whilst I just do a bit of surgery?
So let's have a look at some of the comments. I think we should have a vote on how many of Jay's fingers get stuck together. Good. That's a really good call. Because that happens.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a bit of stuff coming out of them, like a tiny bit of... Must be palatoxin, mate.
I tell you what, I'm trying to think of another live stream or another channel where someone's as clever or as foolish as this to try it.
Foolish?
What are you like?
Right, we're under.
Oh, he's in there. Are you winning, Jay?
Right, we're under.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
So, it's not the most accessible. Well, this is the most. I wish I could just be able to.
You could be a little bit rough, with them, Jay. Yeah, they're not, like I said, they don't need to be wrapped up in cotton wool. Yeah, they'll be okay, mate. It's always a harder for sure.
You can, once you get under it, you can almost make a saw motion.
That's
cut
right.
Away,
like a saw.
Cut away from the rock.
Yeah, for sure.
And then once you got a bit, I would just pull them off.
Well, Michael Butler said there can't be more people like Jay. So that's a good one. Chris has put, this is superb Friday night entertainment. Go for it, Jay. Nick's put, where's the mask? So where's the mask, Jay? Yeah.
What mask? I haven't got a mask. I haven't got a mask.
John's put, loves his Friday nights with all of us. Appreciate it, John. Always John the man.
Right. Let's just cut that bit off there.
And then we've got 1 hour later. I hope it's not 1 hour.
Yeah, I hope it's not 1 hour later because
Julie will say it's time, and then we leave Jay hanging on a cliffhanger. He'll have to stay there until next week.
Yeah.
Right.
It'd be like one of those episodes, isn't it? That you're watching it and you come into the end of it and it goes off, and then you've got to wait till the following week to see what happened.
Will Jay survive? Will the Zoa survive? How many fingers does he stick together? Join in next week.
This is
just stay like that. Stay like that for the next 57 minutes, Jay, and we'll carry it on next week like that in that position.
Right. So, how are you getting on, Jay? Have any of them loose?
Yeah. No, not yet. Still hanging on, but I can't get to do the final bit of the incision work.
You'd be no good as a surgeon, would you? The person would
have been
Ian's put hope your lights are not on a short timer, Jay.
Well, usually it's 9:41. Right. So we got. Wait a minute. What's happening?
I've got something loose here. I think it's.
Have you seen a doctor?
Right. Yeah, it's not the
Right, so I put the blade back in the RO. Let me get. Right. I need to get something to pick it up now.
You got tweezers, haven't you? Use the tweezers.
Yeah, use this one. Yeah.
Yeah, use those. There you go. We've got water all over the shop. Quick, wipe your mouth.
No, it's gone down the back of my glove. You see.
Yeah, I think you did put that down. Somebody in the thing said that those. Yeah, they're AB reef.
It's got one. Have you got one?
You got one.
There might be. Wait up. There's 1, 3, I think.
Oh,
three of them. Oh, hey up. 3 and 1, eh? That's good.
Anything else loose, Jay?
Nothing else loose, but as my first go, I just want to just leave it at that. To be honest.
John Penny's put you reminded me of Frank Spencer.
You should have got Betty to film.
Yeah. Right, let's get the flow on. So any pallet tops.
Where's watching paint dry?
Watching paint dry. Jeez. You've tuned. This is the highlight of my Friday night. This is right. I need to take this. I need to change gloves here because this was. So that glove's gone. Let me put my dry glove on this hand.
Are you gonna put your lid back on, Jay?
Yeah, best to actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably.
You guys are looking out for me here.
Otherwise, the clowns will want to get in the pico. Otherwise.
Yeah, that's it.
I tell you, the other day I went to feed the fish in the garage. I lifted the lid up, and one of the wrasse jumped straight out of the tank. Fortunately, I picked him off the ground. Put him back in. He was limp, so I pulled him backwards through the against the power.
Yeah. Through the floor,
and he was fine, good as gold, and still got him. And the lid was not even fully off. It was up about 6 inches, and the
you know what?
Decided he didn't like it in the tank.
They find the gaps, don't they? Wrasses, they're the worst ones. They find the gap, the size of a 10p piece. They just seem to jump through them.
But as Jay's the tip of the day, if your fish jumps, put him up against the power head in your hand loose and just put him backwards so the power head goes through his gills and that puts more oxygen in and it helps bring him back to life.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that. That's a good tip. Can I use that one for mine? That's a good one.
Well, yeah, hopefully they don't jump out, Jay, but if they do.
There you go. Look, that's exciting spectacle there, look. I'll put the magnifier on it, so I don't know if you'll be able to see it in a bit, only. Right. So there's 3 polyps there. I don't know if you can see that, but
is there?
Yeah,
3 of them.
Rastas are quite small, weren't they?
There's definitely 3.
Oh yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
They're right. You've got to make sure what way's up. So that's ways up. Yeah. Mine. I don't want it to squirt into the camera and get me in the
eye. Right. So let's get this out.
Get your rocks out.
Excuse me.
Get your rocks out.
Rock. There we go. Don't go too long, you'll have die off.
Well, I know. Bloody hell, Paul. I've just got it out. Wait a minute. In fact, I need to put a bit of iodine in here. That's what I need first. I've looked it up. Apparently so. So I'm going to use.
You're going to town. You got a town on this, Jake. I tell you what.
Isn't he?
You got iodine for Zoe.
Yeah, one little drop. It says one as treatment.
Yeah.
One little drop.
Hey, fair play.
Oh, there we go. Look.
There we go.
Yeah, that was a nice drop. That was a nice one.
Put more in. You'll have a muddy puddle if you put too much in.
I don't know if you're taking the mick or being serious here.
No, that's all right, that mate. No, that's enough.
Like that. There we go.
Don't want to do too much. Yeah.
No, just a little bit.
Don't want to do too much.
In fact, shut the window because it might get cold.
I'll keep the window open. You'll be fine.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're not down south, Paul. It's quite cold up north.
Oh, is it? You got frost.
We've got a frost. No, it's not. It's not Scotland where Ross is.
No, he's got snow.
He's got snow. Right. So I've done that bit. It's having a little bath. Right. Brief glue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I should.
So I put just a tiniest piece of glue on the rock, and then you want to get your tweezers. Make sure you have it the right way, and just place it onto the rock, and then leave it out of the water for about a minute, and then put it back in.
Right.
And that's got to go on the rock.
A little tiny bit on.
So what was the timing question? What was the timing advice?
Right, so I'd put the glue onto the rod, just a little speck.
Yeah.
If you get too much, then just spread it around.
Yeah.
And then just get the Zoa out with your tweezers.
Yeah.
And then you just want to place it on to the rock where the glue is. It doesn't have to go in the middle. It can go towards the
escape. I don't want to put it in the iodine now. So I should leave it there for a minute. Right.
Oh yeah. Don't put your rock in there.
Yeah. So I'm going to try and put these Zoas. So I've got me. Oh, wait up.
Move the dish to the right.
Yeah.
There we go. So here's my scape. So I might. What do you reckon at the front here? And this little hollow bit maybe there.
Just a little bit.
No. Yeah. Just a tiny bit.
There, that little ledge.
Yeah. Just a little microscope.
There's none coming out.
Oh, wait up. Is it?
It's not took the casing off it. Oh, come on, Jay.
Preparation is everything, Jay.
I know, yeah.
Yeah,
there we go.
You're not been on a big job, you or what?
This is a big job. I'm a teacher, mate. We don't get big jobs. This is the biggest job I've done all week. Jesus. Right.
Yeah.
So if I dust a little dab here.
Yeah, just a dab. You don't need much.
Just a little bit.
Where's it?
Spread it around.
It's not even coming out.
Have you checked the date on that reef glue?
I'm just bored. Oh. There we go.
Oh,
you see that? Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. You don't want to make it as big as the.
Don't make it too much.
Yeah. If you're just too high, just spread it out a bit.
Yeah. The only problem with that, you'll have to get the glue out again because it'll be stuck in the top.
Mate. Right.
And then just place it towards the edge so that it's just on the edge. So it's at least one of the polyps is on there.
Right.
Yeah.
See, these tools are actually really good because
I told you, didn't I?
You've got a lot. You've got a lot of choice over what you can do. So there's my main polyp. Look there.
Yeah.
So stick it.
That's right. Now I would just let it dry from there for about a minute.
Do I need to splash it with any salt water, or is it going to be all right?
I've left those out 5-10 minutes because I forgot about them and then put them back in the tank. They've been fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the polyps there, it's got 3 there, but there's one big one.
Yeah, and then 2 pups.
And 2 pups, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what they call
Hayley's
pups?
Pups, yeah. Hayley's put, she's got hundreds of the bloody things. She's also she pulls hers off with tweezers, glues them on a bit of rubble and slings them in. Don't be like me, ha, ha, ha.
Yeah, she's confident though. She's been doing it a long time. I'm just like...
This
is the first thing I've ever fragged, and if it works,
I've got to say, Jay, well done for having the bottle to do it. That's not easy to frag live, and I was prepared.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah.
So I think it's not stuck there yet at the moment. How long does it take to stick this stuff?
It should be all right.
You know, once you put it in the salt water, mate, as long as it's just the glue, a little tiny bit, the glue will go off straight away. So you'll be right, mate.
I'd stick it in because you haven't got much flow. It's going to blow it away.
Stick it in.
So I would.
Well, let me just. In fact, I'll just temporarily turn the flow off.
Yeah, it'll work, mate. It won't blow off. Definitely.
I'll turn the flow.
As long as you pushed it down a little bit with the tweezers and it's caught it, it'll be all right.
Yeah, I think it has.
It should be all right with the glue.
Yeah.
I don't know what you got in here, but it's just here anyway.
Oh yeah, just there. Yeah. We see it. See it.
Right.
Yeah.
I've turned the flow off, so there's no.
Right.
No, let's see. Like
stick it back in, and then we'll get a report next time we're on.
Yeah, that's it. That's the idea. I'll put it so it faces the light. Should have cleaned my glass a little bit. Sorry. Let me just.
I'm gonna give you 10 out of 10 for that, Jay.
Absolutely,
10 out of 10 for that.
What's that? Your toothbrush? Is that the toothbrush you're using there, Jay?
That's just a little toothbrush, just to clean the. So. I'll
10 out of 10, mate.
I'll just try and show you the last little shot before I pack all my kits away.
Splendid.
Off the Pico.
Well, I think Jay deserves a round of applause.
Oh, thanks, Jay. Too generous.
Well done, guys. Well done.
I've got to say, Jay, fair play to you, Jay.
So let me just wipe that bit of glass. So can you see it there then?
Yeah, it's still stuck. Still stuck on, mate.
It's got a little bit, there's the tiniest bit of yellow poking on it.
Yeah, it's early days yet, but yeah.
Listen, got 37 minutes until the end of the stream. I think it might have started to come out by then, mate.
No, it won't come out. They'll take about 3 or 4 days.
No, not necessarily, mate.
Yeah, they might come out straight away. You can see a bit of colour there.
Oh,
yeah, there is a bit of colour, yeah.
Yeah.
There is. Let's get the flow on it now.
Everyone's put well done.
Oh, thanks, guys.
It's a bit daunting to do your first frag. It certainly is, Hayley. Hayley Bars. Round of applause. Jackie. Andy as well. And Kim Haywood. She's also said, well done.
Say, a big thank you to Ian, who lent me all the stuff pretty much to do it. So thank you, Ian.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Nice one, Ian.
There it is. We'll see. I'll give you an update. Oh, I'm not here next week because it's the Jubilee.
Oh, yeah, we're not on next week, because I'm away as well. So
Jubilee,
it'll be the week after. So it'll be 2 weeks.
The week after.
In the water and see where we are. You're gonna have to stick the light on there, aren't you, for at least 4 or 5 hours a day to get the zoas.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Mini 25 reef. Well done, Jay. No longer a fragging virgin. Fair play. Yeah.
I never actually thought of it like that, but that is very true, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Take your filter off. I was going to say that then.
Fragging virginity now, haven't I? That's it.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Well done, Jay.
What? And if it comes out, that was really satisfying.
It is.
Miller zoas are a bit closed up down here still, but
they're going to be.
Yeah, they will because they'll be fine. You'll be irritated. It'll be fine, mate. Jonathan's put strong arms. Yes, definitely. Nice one.
Awesome. Thanks. Thanks, Jonathan.
Michael's put, Ian, you're not getting your kit back.
I've arranged to meet up with him to go coral shopping at Signature Frags and then hand him back.
Oh, nice.
Hand him back the kit. So.
Nice.
I don't want them gloves back though, because they're absolutely wet through at the moment.
Yeah, you want to bin those.
Yeah, yes. Right, let me just do. I'm just going to do a tiny bit of tidying up. I put my equipment in the RO water ball, so you will be impressed.
Yeah, stop them getting
rusty.
Yes.
And then I'll.
John's put this question. We've had this question a few weeks. Yeah, you stuck to. Yeah. It's good glue. Good glue, that stuff, mate. It's good glue, that.
Yeah, it holds everything together.
Good glue. Yeah, John's put, if you could add one fish to your tank, regardless of cost, what suitability, what would yours be? We've said this a few weeks ago, I think. Was it a few weeks back? We had this similar sort of question.
Ago. Yeah.
Was it? Right. And
so. What would mine be? I actually think a school of 30 amphias.
Wow, 30 amphias.
The pink one.
That's not one. That's not one fish, though. That's not one fish. It says one fish.
What did you do?
I took it as one breed.
I think Paul failed his GCSE maths.
I didn't. I was too before GCSE. What was that? Mum was before that. Mum was CSE.
CSE. Wow.
Back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you're being pedantic and I can't have 30 amphias, then it'll be an Achilles tang.
Oh, an Achilles tang.
Yeah. You don't see many of those about. What about you, Steve?
Oh, you know what? It's a tough thing, you know. I mean, I love the Emperor, the angelfish, the Emperor angelfish. I just think there's just something majestic about them fish, and I've seen them in the wild as well. Them so, diving and stuff, and it's like they're massive. They're absolutely massive. They just got this presence. So if obviously it's never going to happen because I'm not going to have that big enough tank. But if I won the national lottery and I moved into a big mansion, that was exactly what I would have. I'd have a huge tank with a couple of Emperor angelfish. I think I'd have in it. Definitely. I think there's just something majestic about them. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Jackie's put on there's a blotchy amphia. I know exactly what you mean. They're quite expensive. I think they're about 200, 250 quid. I've seen them. They're really nice. They're quite unusual. I don't know if that's their proper name or not, but I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. Nick's put a tiger king angelfish. Did what's he called? Reef Builders. Did they get one of them in? Did he do a video on one of those kingy angelfish? Because I'm sure I watched it on one of his shit, and it was his dream fish that he had. and I'm sure it was that. Just remind me, I think it was, I'm sure. Those kingy angel fish, absolutely incredible. I think they're super rare as well, actually, to get. But yeah, there's loads. I know Reef Builder's definitely done one for sure on one of them kingy fish.
There's a few comments, a few different fish further. There's a few different comments further up, Steve.
John Wright's put Paul's yellow tank. Yeah. Ailey's put an Achilles tank. Yeah, Achilles are nice. Achilles with the orange spot, and yeah, I do like them for sure. Black tangs, yeah, beautiful tank. Any tank, I love it. I love all tanks. To be fair, they are nice. It's just a shame that you can't add. I mean, there's a hierarchy that you got to add them to your tank, aren't they? You know what I mean? Like, or you've got to add them all together, and like you said, the amount of waste what they produce as well is crazy. So you've got to have a good system that can take it out and that could,
and you need quite a bit of size as well, because a lot of them get to 6, 7, 8 inches, and as you say,
absolutely,
they from the nitrates and phosphates, it just goes through the roof.
Absolutely, yeah.
Can't go wrong with a copper band. I know they're quite common, but they're stunning fish, aren't they?
Yeah, I love copper bands, but
I love them.
Like you said, I mean, I don't think they're as bad now, but a lot of people used to have a lot of problems with them, because they didn't eat, and because of the nose, and like they were picky, and a lot of them starved, didn't they? Do you know what I mean? That's what. But I think a lot of them now are actually eating better now and stuff like that, and they're eating certain foods that they didn't eat, years ago and stuff. So I think they're not dying as much. I don't hear many of them.
I think people understand them a bit more, and they're taking care of them.
Yeah, I think people are understanding them.
LFS.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
the blotched amphia.
Oh right, let me see this. 1 minute. Let me take it off.
It's really
fish. Right. Oh yeah, that's nice.
They're absolutely superb.
And how much do they retail for?
Oh, I've never seen that.
I tell you what, the last time I saw one, there was about 220, 250 quid. That is I didn't realise that's in America, but I mean, that is a lot of money for that fish. But I mean, it's a superb fish. They look even better in real life.
$750. So that's about 500 quid. Wow.
That is that now.
That is a lot of dough.
That's a lot of money, that.
You couldn't have a school of them, could you?
Yeah. Imagine it says best suited in schools of 5. I'll buy 5 then. Yeah, $3,000. Oh mate. Yeah, it's let me see. Where am I now? Cowfish. There's loads of people replying to this now, so that's good. Yeah, we've seen Paul's yellow tang. Aquarium. We'll come back to this question in a minute. UV sterilizers. We'll come back to that one. Rich, he's put, I'd love an octopus. They're incredible. You know what? What's he called? Joey from Fingers Reef. He had an octopus.
King of DIY.
Done a video. King of DIY. He's done one. Go and watch his video. Incredible octopus. They can fit through a gap. You leave a tiny gap, they fit through it. They're mind-boggling, them octopuses for sure. Chris Allen's put a bumblebee grouper.
Yeah,
well,
I know groupers grow find a picture
huge.
Of that.
A bumblebee grouper. I thought groupers are massive. Them fish, are they?
So there's
favorite fish,
there's
juvenile
a picture of that one there. Bumblebee grouper. I think that's the one.
Oh yeah.
There's no price.
How big do they grow?
I don't know. That's just I've just had to find a picture of it. I haven't got any description.
Oh, just a picture.
But I can imagine it's big. That's a picture
big.
of someone who's caught one.
Let's see. Yeah, look at the size of that. Yeah.
I
don't think I'll be putting that in the 350 anyway. You know what I mean?
No.
It's not going to go
when you see the wildlife programs and you see the groupers on, they're massive, aren't they? Absolutely huge.
Aquarium Cabinet Solutions, not about reef builders, but ocean projects. Had one down in Dorset. Had one in stock when I went down there a few months ago. Stunning fish.
Couple of grand.
Couple of grand, yeah. I'm you know what? I'm gonna look on that reef builders, because I'm sure he had something like one of those fish in there. It'll do my head in if I don't check it out, but I am. A boring one, but a lionfish. Yeah.
Yeah, they look really nice, don't they?
I thought about getting a lionfish, a dwarf one, yeah. And then a dwarf lionfish, and then I thought, and then they were saying, yeah, but anything it can fit in its mouth, it will eat. Do you know what I mean? So I thought, well, you know what? I've not got many fish that are smaller than a dwarf lionfish. Do you know what I mean? So, but then I realised, like, obviously, I've got my mandarin and stuff like that. I thought there's no chance could have come down, and then my mandarin's gone. So I went against that. But yeah, lionfish, definitely a lovely fish. Don't worry about it, Nick. Cypress speed. Howard's Put, definitely Empress Angels for me. Absolutely amazing. Would love a pair. A Moorish Idol, Purple Tang, and a Flame Angel. Hold on a minute. You're putting 5 there. The question was only 1. Can't have 5. Just 1.
That's his shopping list for his Max Nano.
Which one does he want? He's put Emperor's, Moorish Idol, Purple Tang, and a Flame Angel. Yeah, mate. All of them are.
Are you making him pick one?
You refresh. Yeah, well, the question was one. Which one fish would you have?
Steve, I was in AAC last Saturday, and took this video of scorpion fish. If you can see they're yellow.
I've seen them.
Probably not the best video, but absolutely fantastic in there. They're not, doesn't give it justice. That looks quite bland, but it was bright yellow.
Yeah. It looks brown.
The ones that has it been in Jay's tank? That
no, not yet. It's actually it's bright yellow, aka brown, in Jay's tank,
aka brown tank. Jay,
I had that last week. That one.
Hey, don't worry, mate.
Yeah, stunning fish.
Yeah,
but poisonous. You have to watch you putting your hands in.
Woody's Putty remembers them. Where there was 150 quid, I'm assuming he's talking about those. Are you talking about those amphibious, Woody?
Yeah, he must be. Yeah,
I think you might be talking about those amphibious, maybe.
The blocked amphibious. I've got to say, I would like one of those. Would I pay even if it was 250? I don't know if I could bring myself to spend 250 quid on a fish. I've done it on a coral, but I don't know if I would do it on a fish.
Yeah.
Would you spend 250 quid on a fish?
I think so. Yeah, probably. Yeah. If it was the right fish, yeah, probably would.
Would you, Joe?
I mean, let's put it.
Would you spend 250 quid on a fish?
Well,
he near enough didn't it?
If it was something that I really like, that's how I've done things so far. If I've liked it, regardless of the name, I've bought it. So, yeah, I probably would if I liked it enough.
Yeah, those bumblebee groupers, they get to about 4 foot. Well, that's the length of my tank. So yeah, wow.
It'd have to be reef safe though. I wouldn't even risk something that's like I wouldn't go with it with caution.
Yeah.
No.
You know what? Adam there has put reef dog face puffer. You know what? I really do love puffer fish. They look like they're more like a pet, aren't they? As in a sense of like they're more like dogs and stuff like that. You know, like it's like as if they listen to you. I mean, Fingy had a puffer fish, didn't he? What's he called? Nathan Willard, wasn't it? You know, Nathan Willard.
Yeah,
when he had that larger tank.
That kept on spitting water out of the tank,
and it kept on spitting water out of the tank. He used to come up to him and then follow him along. And then if he wasn't feeding him, he used to get water and spit it out at him. Yeah. And it was like a human. It was crazy how like, you know, how realistic it's like they know you, don't they? It's like, they actually know you. It's crazy for sure. Let me see. Scrolling quick down more. Jay, has Jay gone lightheaded? Yeah. No.
Why? What's that mean?
He must have, because he said he's going to spend 200 quid on a fish. So he's gone delirious.
I've taken all the precautions needed, apart from a mask, but I don't think I needed a mask to be honest.
It's skin £221, I'm assuming, on a pair of clowns. Yeah, and you know what? That's cheap. I've seen some clowns for like £200 each, £150 each for a clownfish. You know what I mean? So these clownfish that
the stormfish when they first clownfish when they first come out, they was like 750 quid.
Yeah,
weren't they?
Yeah,
I'm sure they were. I don't know what they are now. They're probably obviously not as much as that because they're a lot more common.
That is a brilliant little
Chris Haller's put. It is a cracking piece. I need to get something like that, you know, actually.
How much was that, Paul?
I need to get some.
I bought one, and then he gave me that to give away as a prize, which is that one. I think they're either 20 quid or 25 quid posted. I thought it was really good value because I've had mine for about 3 or 4 years, and they're still really good.
Yeah,
I'm still using all the pieces on it. I mean, a couple of bits have gone a bit rusty, but I've used them I don't know how many times, but they're all in good working order.
I'm well impressed with that.
I need to look for something like that, especially like you said for me. So, I mean, for me, I used like just a Stanley blade, Stanley blade for cutting zoas when I'm doing it, and it's not really the right way to do it, and and then I use my missus eyebrow tweezers, you know what I mean, that she still doesn't know about. But it is what it is.
The polytoxins.
Yeah, but eyebrow tweezers, I do wash them after, so it is what it is. But no, I'm only joking, guys. So
She's got no eyebrows left.
Don't be coming back with the hate and all that. I'm only joking. No, they were hers, but they're the older ones. So they're not.
He's backtracking now, and backtracking.
He is. He's worried about he's going to get a load of hate.
He's going to get trolled by the eyebrow police.
Yeah. Absolutely right.
Oh, what you like? Right, yeah. So let's see. There. Let's see. I pull mine off a tweezers and glue on a bit of rubber. Yeah, I've seen that one. Mm-hmm. Right, where am I here now? I've lost where I'm up to.
That's about.
Oh, there. You get a grip on it.
221. Chris Allen put. I'm sure he's seen a blotched amphio the other day in Kraken corals.
Might be worth. I'd be interested to find out how much Don was selling it for.
Yeah,
it certainly wouldn't have been 700 and odd. Or equivalent, sterling equivalent
of £500.
I can't believe it's 500 quid. Could be wrong.
But. Yeah, Nick's put you could train puffers like dolphins. Yeah, you know what? It wouldn't surprise me actually. I bet you could. To be fair, they are like
they don't look as versatile.
Human-like. Yeah, they don't look. Like normal, like other fish. Every other fish, like they swim about like they all do. Yeah, they all swim about, but they're not looking at you, are they? Yeah. Whereas puffer fish actually look at you as if to say. Like they want a conversation with you. They're weird fish, Lovely fish, but I don't think I could see myself with one. But they are nice. Has anyone seen the new video of Adam Sandler's tank? Now he's put the coral in this last year. No, I haven't actually seen his tank. I've seen. Sorry, tell a lie. I've seen it. I've got it on Instagram, and he posts things up on Instagram, doesn't it? But I haven't seen his YouTube channel. I know he does. He's starting to take more on YouTube.
I think it's Andrew Sandler, isn't it?
It's Andrew Sandler, yes, Andrew.
Yeah.
Adam Sandler's the actor, isn't
he? He's a comedian, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's Nick's saying he's got to go. Nice one, Nick. Appreciate you, mate. Thanks for stopping by, mate. Appreciate you. You can take your mask off now, Jay. Oh, he's gone.
He's gone.
He's got to take his mask off. He's got to take his mask off.
He's gone to get his hair net.
Yeah. Let's see if we can see any more. Jay, yours for 100, as owned and used by Aquarium. Yeah. Hey, we'll leave that. We'll come back to that one for sure. Let's see. Someone 6 Reefs just joined in. How's it going? Thanks for stopping by. You've missed Jay doing the big frag. The big frag, his very first frag, so you've missed that. So you'll have to, you'll have to watch back if you want to see that. His very first frag, and he done really well. So 10 out of 10 there for Jay. Hey, let's put night, Nick. Jackie's put. If I put food in, before we see this one, Jay, let's see. What's that? Where have you put it? Where have I put it, Steve? No.
Sorry, I was just washing hands. 100 quid.
Michael Butler said he could take your mask off though now. Yeah, and then Ian put yours for 100 as owned and used by Aquarium, so he's got a valid point there, mate.
Well, yeah, that's true. It is a good kit. 100 quid's a bit steep though.
For the tight Yorkshireman.
That's for the tight Yorkshireman. I'll buy a gunny for that. But it is good. Thanks, mate.
If I put food in and the Valentino, hasn't noticed, I point and he looks at me and then goes for the food. Exactly. Such intelligent fish. Puffers are. Yeah. You know what? Absolutely. I think they're definitely one of the most intelligent fish out there. Definitely. You know what I mean? So, Jackie Kenner, I love mine. Skin. Imagine a puffer is like a cheerio in my pond. Very friendly. Knows who I am and is part of the family. Absolutely. They are a strange animal for sure. They are uncanny. Even when you go, I've seen, but that's, excuse me, that's all puffers though. Every puffer that, because they all do it. You go into and you see the little tiny puffers all in the shops, and you put your finger on the glass and you move your finger across, and the puffer follows your finger. You know what I mean? It's like they're just like there's something. They're very intelligent fish, then. But yeah, and John's put some puffers like to be stroked like a dog. Exactly. Yeah, that's it. You know what? It's I don't know. But you know what though? I don't think I'd stroke it. It'd probably take my finger off actually. Anyway, no, my luck. But yeah, I don't think and they have got a bite on them, haven't they? They crack shells, don't they?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So the snail shells. So
got strong jaws, haven't they?
Yeah, they've got very powerful jaws and things for sure. So I won't like put my finger there. But yeah. Anyway, guys, what's you got anything planned for this weekend? Are you doing anything? Are you going to the shops? Or anything like that?
So I went last week and I got rid of 2 big colonies. So this weekend, hopefully, I'm going to clear some more coral out of that and frag the last bits. And I found a home for some of the fish, so I need to catch the fish and start getting rid of the fish. But I can't decide what fish to keep and what. I want to keep all of them, but I know I can't because I haven't got enough room. So I'm going to have to pick and choose what fish I keep. So I've got a couple of amphias I'm getting rid of. Pajama cardinals, I'll get rid of them. I'm going to keep the yellow tang. Sorry, John. And I'm going to keep the clowns because they're the oldest fish, and the cardinals because they're the ones that were bred in that tank. So, and then I'm zooming and ahhing about the wrasse because I've got 3 peacock wrasse. So I need to decide whether I'm going to keep them or get rid of them, because all I've got is a 3-foot tank and the 170. So that's the only 2 tanks I've got to put the fish in. And I don't want to overload the tanks with fish because then it's not fair on the fish. And then the bioload starts getting heavy and then it means more work for me. So I might have to get rid of some more of the fish. And also I thought I had a Richmond wrasse, but it's a completely different wrasse. That's about 4 inches. So I need to get rid of that one as well. It's a beautiful colour, but I think AAC may take that from me and put it in their display. So we'll see on that one.
Right. Interesting.
So that's what I've got to sort out.
That's
nice.
A busy weekend of reefing, really, isn't it?
Yeah, there's nearly there. I'm nearly there. I've probably still got about another 30 cogs.
What's the deadline though? Was it middle of June?
No, it was end of. So before I go to Cornwall,
here we go.
At the end of June. So I've got that tank has got not go but closed down, and the pico's got to be set up. So I've got a month to go. So I've got.
As soon as it's supposed to set up in February, the pico's.
We're
nearly in June.
You're splitting hairs. I think you're being really too much into the detail, Joe.
Well, I don't think technically. I'm sure there's a rule that Ross has written into this competition.
There will be a rule.
You have to have started by a certain point.
Yeah, Ross will have a rule for sure.
He will.
So what about you, Jay? Are you doing anything?
Not doing anything. No. So I met up with Aquarian Thursday. We did a bit of shopping at Maiden Aquatics. I bought some live foods. I bought some more Yorkshire brine shrimp. I don't know why it's Yorkshire, but it is Yorkshire anyway. But so I've put some live foods in there, and then I picked up that shrimp because I hadn't had a shrimp in my tank for about 5 months.
Yeah.
And I miss not looking at the shrimp. So and they had it was huge, bright red, huge one. I was like, that's like I say, it's a really healthy one. It's probably quite old to be fair because it is big. It's definitely full size at 2 inch at least. And then I drip acclimated him and then put him in. So did my water change yesterday. So I think it's going to be just having a cup of tea and watching the Duncan because obviously I've been cutting those zoas.
Yeah.
making sure that there's no problems really.
Yeah, there'll be. Oh, you'll be fine, mate. You'll be fine.
No plans to do anything with the reef this weekend.
Yeah. Nice.
But a lot of people are going away. For like May half term and stuff. What's the tips? What tips, Paul, have you got for anybody who's leaving the tank for a short period of time? Or Steve, any tips?
If it's 2 or 3 days, then that's nice and easy, and you can actually go without feeding the tank for a couple of days, and it wouldn't be a problem. If I go away for a week, then I always prep for it. So I auto feeder, set that up, and have that running for a week, only because then I know exactly what food's going in. If I have someone coming around to feed, then I always get little pots out and put the right amount of food in, and say 1 pot of those each day. Because if you give them the actual dry foods, you can guarantee you'll come back and your nutrients will be going. They would have gone through.
But they think they've been very caring.
Well, they said the fish look hungry, so I only gave them an extra pinch. And you have a look, and then where's the food? So I always put them in separate little pots. If you've got a Red Sea tank, then and you haven't set up a separate a auto top off, then you've got the gravity fed one. Then that's only going to last about 4 days. So there, I always then set up a auto top off and test that for the week before. So if I'm setting up new equipment, I always test it for a week just to make sure it's on the road, it's doing what it needs to do. I think that's about it. If you've got dosing pumps and stuff like that, then just fill those up. Make sure your pumps are clean, but do it quite a few days before so it's all working all right. So it's just that kind of stuff that I tend to do.
It's good because I say a lot of people are going away at some point this week, obviously, with it being a double bank holiday. A lot of us will be leaving our tanks maybe just for 3 or 4 days. So it's good to have those little tips, isn't it? Have you got any tips, Steve? What do you do if you go away for a holiday? Anything extra?
I suppose it's each to their own, really. But like for me, like if I'm going away for 1 or 2 days or something like that, then I just make sure that the RO water unit is topped up. And mainly, that's the main thing, is like the RO's topped up. I make sure that that I feed the night before. I feed the fish the night before as late on, because 9 times out of 10 I don't have an auto dose, or a feeder. I don't feed them for 2 days. They don't, because they don't need feeding for 2 days.
If you're going away for a week, what would you have to feed them?
If I'm going away for a week, then I go away in August to my brother's wedding in Turkey. So I've got a guy who I know from my reef, my local LFS there, and he's got his own maintenance company. So he's going to come down, but he doesn't even need to do it. He doesn't need to do anything on my tank. You know what I mean? He's just coming around, making sure everything's all working in order, the lights are on, and making sure that the RO water is not like overspilling, etc. Just those normal basic general things. That's all he's doing, and then he's feeding the fish. So he's coming around 3 times a week. That's all he's doing. He's coming 3 times a week for the 2 weeks, and then he's just making sure that everything. But what I can do is I can link my my Apex. I send him my Apex code and stuff like that. He can get onto my Apex. You know what I mean? So if he needs to do anything, God forbid, then he can just control my tank. You know what I mean? Doing it that way. Good. So it's always a good thing, and he can do that as well with the KH keeper as well, because the KH keeper does not as much now. But I don't know if any of you guys in the comments there, I've got a KH keeper, but sometimes even if I've got fast broadband in my house. I've got the Virgin super fast one. But sometimes the KH keeper just drops out and it loses connectivity. And the only way you can connect it is by inputting the Wi-Fi password again. Do you know what I mean?
Really? So it resets almost.
Like it resets itself. But you can't do it. You can't do it when you're away from the house. You can't. You've got to be there to do it via Wi-Fi. So that's a problem, and it doesn't happen all the time.
That KH keeper, he loves it, doesn't he?
There's always something in there. There's always something with the KH keeper.
You know what, mate? Mate, you know what? I absolutely love it. I love the cage keeper. It's absolute. I do love it. Yeah, don't get me. It's a love-hate relationship. I've said it before. It's a love-hate relationship, but certain little niggles like that irritate me. And I'm thinking, why can't you do like a cloud server? You know, like a cloud server where you can automatically connect to it when you're out. So if it does lose connectivity, you can do it via your own phone to link it to your obviously Wi-Fi into your house and do it that way. Surely to God they can do that, you know what I mean? But just little niggle things like that, which annoy me. But that other than that, it's not too bad. But you know, it is what it is, and we have these little things in this hobby, so I can't complain too much.
Two other things about holidays. So would you put some live foods in just so that if you're going away for a period of time, that you've got like, you know, some of it obviously wouldn't get consumed because it'd be in the rock work or whatever. Then you've got like a slow feeding.
What you mean, like brine shrimps and stuff?
That sort of thing.
I don't see there being a problem.
Yeah, when I used to keep a maven, I used to pile loads of copepods into the sump, so they'd feed into it on the basis that if I wasn't here, it'd be feeding pellets and that, and it'd only take frozen at the time. So then it may go 3, 4, 5 days without food and just copepods. And when it come back, I would just feed it really heavy on frozen to get its weight back up. But it went 5, 6 days. But I'd pile loads I'd make brine shrimp and copepods and all that up in advance and just pile loads into the sump the day before I'd go. And then hopefully they would get into the sump, into the tank. The only problem with that is you got wrasse, and wrasse love all that as well. So I'm not too sure how many it actually got. That's the problem.
Right. The other tip was, it won't affect you, this one, Steve. Apparently not to do your water change like on the day or just before. Just so your tank's settled before you leave, obviously, with the water change.
I'll do it a few days before, that kind of thing.
You switch stuff off, don't you, when you're doing your water change, and you might forget to switch it back on and things.
Absolutely.
That's a tip. Do your water change, Steve, and do it 3-4 days before you go on holiday.
They also say,
I'll remember that.
Don't do things late at night because quite often people are tired. You forget to put pumps back on. Or if it ends up going wrong, you end up to 2 or 3 in the morning. So do things early in the day when you're a bit fresher.
Yeah. Or if you have a KH keeper and you forget that you swap your buckets around and then you tip the reagent out as opposed to the wastewater. Yeah, that's when you do it. That's when you're tired. You know what I mean? So, but Aquarian, I know we'll come back to this question because, like, obviously we'll come back to it because you know it is a valid point. Do you UV sterilized question from last week? Does a UV kill good bacteria or kill algae spores? Now, I'm always in the belief that correct me if I'm wrong here, but it doesn't. Only if it passes through the actual UV, then it will kill it. Yeah. But the majority of your good bacteria, your beneficial bacteria, I believe, they just live. They're not really in the water column. It's mainly they're on the rocks, they're on the sandbed, they're on your corals. That's mainly it. So all that's passing through really UV is your water. So I don't know. I don't think it kills good bacteria. Maybe if some pass through, it will do, but I'm not 100% sure.
So my understanding, I have not had a UV sterilizer before. That stuff that goes through it. If it's both good and bad, it gets killed because the light source. So that's the purpose of it.
Right.
But my understanding is that it kills both good and bad bacteria, but the benefit of it outweighs the negative. So I don't know for a fact. I've read before that it does kill good stuff as well as bad, but I haven't looked into it as that much because I've never had a UV sterilizer. But that's what I've read. But whether that's accurate or not, I can't really say that I've looked into it in a lot of detail and
see. I've always had a UV sterilizer on my tank. Always. Now I know I had any UV sterilizer yet. I got told to add one near enough straight away. Yeah, especially on the larger tank. Yeah, was to add one straight away because it reduces the risk of fish catching certain parasites and stuff like that. So I was like, right, okay, I'll do it. And you know what? I'm not going to jinx myself, but touch wood, I've never had anything like that. Yeah, you know what I mean? I know I might jinx myself, but I I haven't had anything like that. So all I can assume is that it's down to having that UV running. Do you know what I mean? Maybe it's got to have something to do with it, because
they do say that, Steve. They do say that UV is more preventative. If you're using it to sort a problem out, it's less effective. If you're using it before you've got an issue, 9 times out of 10 you don't get the issue, like the algae or the ick, the velvet.
That's right.
But if you look at it, for it to help with disease on fish, it has to go at a different flow rate, doesn't it? To if it is for algae and dinos and stuff like that. I can't remember which way. One runs faster than the other, but you can't do both at the same time of it because you need different flow rates. But I can't remember if one is a high flow and the other one's a lower flow within it.
Yeah, it needs to be. And I know that it's got to be run a UV. You've got to run it like I run mine dead slow. You don't go through that UV because it kills anything nasty. Yeah, it's the longer the time it's passing through, the more chance it has of killing anything bad. You know what I mean? Like say, but I go back to your point, Paul, as well. Is like you're probably correct in a sense of that. You know, even if good bacteria go through it, it will probably kill that. But the pros for it, like you said, I think outweigh the negatives. You know what I mean? For sure, for me especially. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I've never had anything wrong. So, and I've always changed that. And another thing is to always change the bulbs. Change the bulbs at least every 6 months, because you might see that it's still on, but the bulb's working, but it loses that straight, the power of it to kill things. So I always change my bulbs every 6 months. So in it, it's something you forget about because you see it, it's always on. The bulb you look in it, it's like a little tiny window, especially in the Vectron ones. There's like a little window, and you see the bulbs working, and you're like, oh, well, it's still working, but the power's not as strong, in it. So
just change
them.
Yeah. I got to say, if I got another big tank, I would put UV on it. I haven't, and the tank's been okay, but I think I would go for a UV. Probably more preventative on fish than anything else.
Yeah.
There we go. Haley's just said it will not kill beneficial, but unless they flow through. Yeah, exactly.
It lives on the surfaces. Yeah,
because it lives on the rock. I mean, because that's where you always got to. It's all your beneficial stuff live on surfaces. They're not free floating. You know what I mean? They're not. They land on your sand. So that's why when you take out tons of rock, and when you're moving a tank or whatever, or you take out all the rock, sometimes like you said, your nutrients spike and stuff like that and everything.
They're going because I've taken rock out. They're gone. It's gone through. I know I know it's through the ceiling.
Exactly, because all your beneficial bacteria, they're eating all the nutrients, aren't they? You know what I mean? Oh yeah, it's filtration. So it's one of them. Let me see. God, there's a fair few people now. Talking here now.
Keeping you busy, Steve. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, mate.
It's some really good comments in there about UV.
UV, let me see. UV only sterilize, not kill? Question mark. Ailey's put.
Well, they definitely kill the spores of algae.
Yeah.
Minimum. They're sterilising the water, aren't they?
Minimum of beneficial bacteria float freely in water, right? Yeah. Your main beneficial bacteria, absolutely. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Let's see. Aquarium energy shake lamp passes on. If it's the heated shake lamp, i.e., what passes around. Oh, you need to move away from the bioballs. That's a bacteria. Yeah, for sure. I'm just gonna. Oh, Brett. Finally got a night off to join the stream. Miss loads. Hi, Steve. J. Paul.
Yes.
Where's Big Ross?
See you, Brett.
Yeah, nice to see you, Brett. Yeah, Ross is he's not joining us for a few weeks, so he's don't know if his work. He's got a few things going on. I think so.
I'm not sure when he'll be. Hopefully he'll be on soon. I'm not sure exactly when. He might be on the week after.
It's going to be a few weeks.
Yeah, because we're not on next week. Because of Jubilee, and we've got things on, and some of us away.
The buses are really bad on Jubilee weekend, aren't they? Well, Steve's going to see the Queen. Good luck tomorrow, Brett. Anyway, with your logo.
Of course, the final.
For sure, mate. Yeah, for sure. Let's see this one. Chris, then it depends on the flow rate. Exactly. Bacteria kill quickly, but they reproduce very quickly. Protozoa needs slower flow, as they're tougher and needs more. So like I said, the slower the water passing through the UV, the more chance it has of killing protozoas, which is what you need, really. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like you said, it comes back to that same point.
What you're trying to prevent,
what you're trying to prevent.
Yeah,
absolutely. Like you said, it definitely outweighs the negative for sure.
Yeah.
So,
ounce of prevention is a pound of cure. That's the BRS TV quote on UV. That's what they say about it.
Absolutely. There's a lot more people know a lot more about UV than me because I've never used it before. So
UK Reef Bro. Fun fact: UV doesn't kill anything; it makes it unable to reproduce. Therefore, it just dies out. Right? Oh. Well, that's new for me, mate.
There we go.
Yes, for sure. John Ross, London is really.
He's just lined up I think he's lined up his 12 sponsor. That's what it is. He's gone to sign the contract.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see this. Rick, what about the new Reef Factory auto tester? You know what? I have seen that, and it does look a good piece of kit. But if it keeps losing connection like the KH keeper, then it's not worth it, is it? So
now, what I read today, because it's quite a small box, and I don't know if this is true or not. I heard, and I don't know, that you got one box, and that tests one thing. It doesn't do so. The box doesn't test 3 or 4 things like the others. It's one thing at a time. So if you wanted to test 3 things, you'd have to have 3 boxes. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. I need to do a bit of research into it.
No, it can't be. It can't be because on the actual boxes. I know, but on the actual reef thing, it says that it tested for all of them, didn't it? Like, was it nitrates, magnesium, calcium, and so
you know what?
Tested
I think I'm have to do a bit of research.
You know what I mean?
I'm quite interested in it. But
I think it looks a good bit of kit. But that's if it works properly. You know what I mean?
The thing is, though, it's so small. I can't see how it can test multiple things.
Well, you see the size of that reef bot, didn't you? We just had a figure there with that reef bot. Look at the size of that. Remember it? And it was huge, wasn't it? That reef bot. It was like a little mini TV. It was that big, that reef bot. So I don't know. It does look small, but you know what technology's like, don't you, mate? It's
but you need all the agents and everything inside. That's the issue.
You still need but Mini 25's put he wants a KH Keeper Plus. It's on his list of stuff to get. You know what? Like I said, mate, I mean, it is a good bit of kit. Don't get me wrong. You know, I mean, it seems to be fairly accurate. So you know, I can't really comment. But it comes back to that point, doesn't it, where I've tested it on the KH Keeper, and I tested it on 2 other tests, and they come back totally different. The only way we'll ever definitely know is if we do it, send off an ICP, like we said before, at the same time of when you test. And then when we get the ICP test results, we just basically weigh it up to see which one was closer, and that's the way. I think you can only check it out for sure which one's most accurate. But it's a tough one, really. But it seems to be running well. So yeah, it's one of those things. But it's a pretty expensive piece of kit. And Brett's put, come on lads, reef mat or Clarity. I mean, I obviously I don't know anybody with a reef mat, but I've got the Clarity and Paul has, and
I've got the Clarity. I've heard really good things about the reef mat.
Yeah, about the reef mat. Yeah,
I've used Clarity for a number of years, and it works for me.
It works a treat.
If the reef mat's better, would I go and get it? I mean, how much do you want to take out your water column? For me, it takes a lot of crap out, and so I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
But would I try the reef mat? Potentially, it looks bulkier, but I don't know if it is or not. But
what's the price difference?
I haven't seen it. I think
there's not much in it. It's about the same price.
Right. Yeah. And the reef mat sends you notifications saying how much it's used. Is it ready? It's ready to be. The roll needs to be replaced. So you can argue there's definitely a benefit there. But I haven't seen one in person. So I know Reef Dog swears by it because he's got one and he's had both a Clarity and a reef mat, but I haven't used it or seen it, so I don't know. So for now, I'd recommend the Clarity, but I've heard good things about reef mat.
No, I think Chris has got one, so obviously he said seeing the reef mat. I have seen like how crystal clear it keeps water.
Yeah, absolutely. Water and all it does look really good. So it does what it's supposed to do.
Does look a good bit of kit for sure. Quickly moving on because we've all got a few more minutes. Apparently, you need a separate tester. So, Paul, it looks like you're absolutely spot on there for each parameter. Now, that is just not on. I mean, I need to see the size of it.
It depends on the price, though, doesn't it?
Exactly.
I think if there's just one per whatever it is, that means your mechanics are working one to that particular test kit.
Yeah, to that
so that kind of makes
one,
sense. So if they're kind of like small bricks and you put the bricks next to one another and the price point of buying 3 or 4, then that makes sense. Because if I look at the Neptune one, it does the alk, calcium, and magnesium. I'm not fussed about mag and calcium to do it as many times, but the alkalinity, absolutely. So if you can pick and choose and you do it bespoke, that kind of makes sense. But if there's a load of money for one of them and you have to buy 3 of them and it's a massive price,
exactly,
that doesn't make sense.
I mean, to make it,
I kind of understand the component for each one. That I can understand actually.
I mean, to make it a realistic prospect for a lot of people, you've got to be looking in the region of what 150 to 150 to £200 per one. Would you say?
But if you look at the alkatronic, you look at the KH Keeper, that just does alkalinity, and that's 700 quid. Or whatever.
But you can't charge £700 just for testing calcium. £700 per hour. You're looking at 4,000 quid.
But what I'm saying, what nearly as much as a rabbit. What I am saying is, I think 200 quid might be too much. I know what you mean. 700 is going to be too much. 200, I'll be really surprised. So is there a point in the middle? Say like, I don't know. I'm just guessing. Say it's like 350, 400. I know if you put 2, 3, 4, 5, that's still a lot of money. But if you go and look at the competition, I don't know how much it would cost for the Alkatronic and the Mastertronic. Mastertronic's about 1,200 quid, I think. That's from.
It is.
So I don't know is the answer on.
If it can be done well, why haven't Hannah done it? They're the leading people in measuring water parameters. Why don't they?
It's not easy. The technology's, even though the technology's been out for a couple of years, it's still fairly early, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, guys,
Hannah Heggs.
I think Julie's gone. I don't know. I think Julie's
had enough.
Gone. I think she's got bored of us. So I think she's not giving us that. I think she's got bored of us. Exactly. She can't have been bored on my live stream. I'm going to be sending her a message after this.
Yeah, once he finished the fragging, it all went downhill.
Yeah, come on, Jay, I blame you for fragging. Yeah, come on, started going downhill. I'm only joking. No, cheers, you know what, guys? It's been great. It's been fantastic, Jay.
It's been good. Jay,
10 out of 10, mate. You know what? Fair play to you. You know, I mean, like I said, it's.
I feel like we should sing the national anthem now. Has it been the Jubilee edition? That's a joke, by the way.
Yeah, especially what do you call it? Yeah, but you know what, guys? It's been brilliant, and definitely one thing before I do want to say is head over to my YouTube channel tomorrow. I'm going to be posting a video. Something big's happening on my reef. Really big. You know, you're not gonna miss it. You're not gonna want to miss it. Trust me, yeah. So you know what? Until next time, guys. I don't know which channel next time. On.
I don't know. It's either going to be Ross or me. If Ross is on, then it's him. Yeah. If not, it's me.
Yeah. You know what? Check us out. It's going to be 2 weeks from now. So check our Instagram post. We'll be posting something on Instagram anyway. So we'll let you know whose channel it's going to be on. But once again, thanks for joining in and all your comments and your questions. Really enjoy it. So until next time, guys, have a great weekend and we'll see you soon. Have a good one, guys.